This meeting is
Yes,
being recorded.
you may start.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, okay.
Tell us a
let
little
me
bit
ensure that
about yourself, what you do.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Frank Otieno. I work with the Standard Media Group as the manager in charge of NIE. NIE is called Newspaper in Education. This one is a program that and brings together schools that enroll with us so that we supply them with copies every Tuesday. Tuesday is a day that we have set aside to interact with the schools in our daily paper through a page called NIE, and that page has got material that is meant for teachers and learners. And in the past, before CBC came, we used to have material for KCP and KCSE exam and we obtained from very competent providers. These were competent teachers who are actually examiners in this country. Uh, but then again, now when CBC came, we now felt that it is wiser for us to bring in CBC content in the same pages so that as we move forward, our clientele can appreciate that we are moving with time. Tunasonga na wakati. Kwa hivyo, we have been having that engagement with our schools in the whole republic that have been enrolling with us at a cost of only 43,200 shillings per year, per school calendar year. So for that, I think I wanted just to share something here that, let me just share. Let me share. Okay, even if it doesn't come, then I think I can read it from here. Maybe Newspaper in Education program is an initiative of the Standard Media Group. NIE seeks to improve the students' language and comprehension skills, as well as numeracy skills. This in turn helps them read and understand examination questions, so they are better equipped to answer them correctly. In short, we are building a reading culture among school-going children in Kenya. For as little as 14,400 shillings per term, anyone can sponsor a school of their choice. That is the school boards, NGOs, parents, alumni groups, government officials, corporate organizations, as well as individual and collective sponsors. So Standard Group will reach your school no matter which part of the country you are. So yearly contribution for this is always 43,200 shillings, as I mentioned. Um, the money is paid. The money is paid via M-Pesa, and we have provided pay bill number and so on and so on. Pay bill number 505600, and then the confirmation message sent to us. The account name is NIE. Then add the name of the school. If your name is called Baraka, so your account name is NIE. Then Baraka Primary School or whichever school. Alternatively, the money can be deposited to the Standard Group account, check written to Standard Group PLC. The bank is KCB. All that I'll provide later on. So I want to talk about the benefits of this program that the schools that have subscribed with us have been having. They agree with us that their language skills have been improved, comprehension skills, numeracy skills, self-esteem, improved results. We do a follow-up on progress of the program, and after 2 terms, we award the best improved student during the program. Then we also have what student or pupils are encouraged to work hard. Another benefit is that it helps learners understand examination questions, hence equipping them well for KCP and KCSE. But NB, we are rolling out, actually we have rolled out CBC content. And this one, we're happy that yesterday it was the first day that we launched it. So from yesterday moving forward, we will be seeing CBC content in abundance in our NIE pages. And this is where now I want to request our esteemed members in this gathering to come on board and enroll with us so that while we increase our sales of newspaper into your schools, you also increase your presence in terms of, because we always do the profiling of schools. When you have enrolled with us, you are now at liberty to advertise your school at a very low rate, because if you had to advertise normally through our commercial department, you'd be parting with like like 500,000 shillings and above. But you see now here is only 43,000 shillings. Then here you are. You have full presence on our newspaper. Frank Otieno is also a host of Daul Elimu in this country. He will invite you to come and talk to us, share with us various topics in the education space as time goes by, depending on what is unfolding in the education sector in the country. So you now become our partner because of that amount that you're paid, that will be supplying you every Tuesday. Apart from giving you that paper every Tuesday, you are now becoming my friend, and anytime you want to call me over any issue that you want me to highlight on our paper, on those pages, you are now very free. So in short, that is how, Madam Chair, we do our NIE program. And I welcome questions later on or at an appropriate time according to your program, so that I can elucidate further on what we are doing right now, bearing in mind that now we have gone full blast CBC on those pages as we phase out 844 Polepole. 844 is now leaving the stage. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Frank, for the information you have presented to us. I've learned so much about newspaper in education, or as you say, NIE. We have some few questions. I'm going to read out some questions from our audience, and Mr. Frank will answer some questions that were sent to us during this presentation. So the first question is, many participants joining today are parents, stakeholders, education officers, and we know that CBC is quite engaging and practical. How can NIE engage more parents and learners at home?
Thank you. Yeah, CBC is there to engage learners at home, actually, and parents are encouraged, because while you subscribe to be a member of NIE, you can do it from all angles. You can even do it from a school perspective, or you can even do it as an individual, maybe from home. You want to be supplied with that paper every Tuesday. You want that paper that is to do with the NIE. So mine is to encourage that when we centralize it and make it a school thing, it becomes easier for us to avail this material to our teachers in school, so that when now they interact with the material that has been provided by our providers, who are very competent CBC experts, the parent will be following up with the teacher. Mwalimu, how is the NIE doing? Do they provide with the right material, and how is my child benefiting from that? So I think it's just the same way you can follow up with a learner during this 844 system, how maybe books that were provided in school by the government, how they access it and so on. So this NIE is there to enrich the library of the school, so that as you read other books, you also have NIE material that is there. Apart from that NIE material, you also have the paper itself fully. That paper has got all the headlines that you want, everything that you want. So it's not just NIE only. It shows you the story of the day, how Kenya Kwanza and whatever is going on, how the sports issues, special features about agriculture and so on. So they are learning a lot, because now they're exposed to the current issues that are being taken care of by the paper. So I think that's how I can answer that bit, that parents and stakeholders and education officers, you just stress that try to assist us to penetrate the school, so that the schools can have it centralized in their libraries, these newspapers.
Right.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Mr. Frank, we have this interesting question. One participant is asking, can you please educate us more on the NIE in schools? if you can go deeply into that concept of how NIE is being implemented or impacting the learners in schools, and what
Thank
age
you.
groups does it cater for?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, NIE is newspaper in education. The newspaper is here with me, the standard newspaper.
Right.
This paper has put aside Tuesday to be the only day that they will be addressing issues with education in schools. So every Tuesday, we have got NIE pages, newspaper in education. So as you buy the paper for that day, you'll access all the news of that day, be it sports, national news, special features, politics, and so on. But you know quite well that inside there is a pullout called NIE that is actually meant for the learner and the teacher of that school. And when you open it, we always give various levels. For example, yesterday, Tuesday, we had grade 1, 2, and 3. They had very good material that they interacted with in terms of learning. And that material, the teacher that accessed it was supposed to go to class and engage with the learners using it. Then on Saturday, we will have what in 844 system we used to call marking scheme. But this one now, I could see our providers are calling it rubrics, CBC rubrics. So the rubrics are shared in the paper on Saturday standard, so that the teacher that interacted with that content on Tuesday with the learners now goes to our Saturday edition to look at what we have in terms of what they should have done in regarding the various tasks that were given to the learners that day. So if you look at yesterday's paper, you will see those grades, and then you expect in quotes marking scheme for the same on Saturday.
Okay.
Yes, that is how newspaper in education works. So it's just an idea of us interacting and bringing learning closer to our readers, so that we don't just want to talk about politics alone. Politics is too boring. So we want our learners to appreciate our papers by interacting with this content, and the teachers do the same. And actually, during the KCP and KCC period, it used to come in handy because we used to put past papers, and those past papers even turned out to be, when they're repeatedly showing on the standard, and learners keep on talking about them. When they go to KCP and KCC, walikuwa wanabongwa mtihani. Yeah, because you keep on, it's a revision sort of, yes.
Do you have engaging activities apart from questions and answers for young learners, for catering for different age groups? Maybe something to do with outdoor learning?
Yeah, in fact, may I find out if we have Nani here, William, before I continue? William Guru.
Is
he around?
Yes, he's around.
I'm present.
Very good. Yeah, so, CBC is not about just classwork. We don't want to talk about cognitive domain of learning throughout. It becomes so boring. It becomes another 844 system. So CBC is there for the competencies and so on. And it makes learning very interactive. And therefore, sorry about this phone call. Let me just switch it off. Yeah, our content providers are very much aware that we expect them to give us content that takes care of learners inside and outside classroom, so that if this week they talked about something in classroom, next week we expect to see something that engages the learners and the teacher outside. They can say, can you go out with your teacher and do this and that? So they're the ones who know, because us as a media house, we have contracted this competent provider to give us that kind of content that is now coming from, because I like the feedback I'm getting from here, because now I'm getting what exactly we should be giving to our learners in schools. Thank you.
How does NIE share this information with schools? Because I, as a teacher, we've never heard of NIE in our school. How are you marketing NIE in different schools across the country?
Thank you. It's a good question. Yeah. And that's why we are actually today having this forum. Every day is a day of communication. So what we have done, I have tried my best to belong to various WhatsApp groups of schools. I'm in a WhatsApp group called CBC1, CBC2. I'm also, as we speak, I'm planning a journey to Mombasa to go and meet all the directors of private schools. They're having their 25th AGM in Mombasa. So I'll be meeting them there on day 2 of that conference. After Professor Magoha shall have opened the conference, day 2, I'll be meeting all of them so that I market this and bring it to their attention that this is something that they've been missing out on. So it's a continuous process. Marketing it is a continuous process. Even in my show called Daul Elimu, whenever I'm on air, on TV, KTN News, I try to do my best to talk about it. So, and I agree with that Malimu that he or she has not heard about it, but we are on the right path of making sure that NIE is known to all our stakeholders.
I have another question from one of the participants. What schools have you worked with before? Just name a few schools that you have worked with before in regards to NIE.
Yes, right now, actually, we are talking about 200 schools as we speak. 200 schools. So I can just mention at random, we have got good testimony school in Nyayo Estate in Nairobi. That one is a school that belongs to the secretary of KIPSA, Madam Julie Ojiambo. We have got Marion schools owned by this family of Kinarecho Shebesh, and of course, Madam Kimani is there. We have also public schools that have been sponsored by alumni. I'm talking about even secondary schools. We have a school like Orero Secondary School in Homa Bay. That one was sponsored by the alumni group. We have quite a number of schools. I can't, unless I had a list here that I could read, but all the schools that are really aware of what there is about education and learning actually are on board. Quite a number. Molem School. Molem is in Eastlands. Then another one is Kitengela. We have got. So quite a number. Maybe I'll avail the list to share later on.
Right. Since you have mentioned more than 200 or 200 schools, we have an idea now. You had mentioned that there's a fee that schools pay or individuals or parents pay. Do you have a lower cost copy for less privileged schools?
Now, in fact, you have reminded me that we are even making it, for example, what I want to go and sell to the membership of KIPSA in Mombasa is about when they come in bulk, we cannot sell you the paper at 60 shillings. No, we have to give it to you at a discount. So right now we're selling the papers at 60 shillings. But if you come in bulk, maybe if you are sponsoring a big number of schools, the percentage should go down. The discount maybe can come with some 15% discount, 10%, depending on how we look at what you are bringing on the table. Because normally what we know is that the schools are sponsored. So even if the school is low cost, but it is not sponsored by a low cost person, it is sponsored by somebody who is able to do that. As we speak, there is a group of some education stakeholders in Kakamega who are going to sponsor 10 schools in the whole republic, and they have decided to go for majorly schools in Marigat or Samburu, the schools that are in the interior kabisa. They want them to access these newspapers. So that is how we do it. But if you come with a big number, we don't shy away from talking about discount.
Okay. Yes. Maybe you can think about discounts for the less privileged schools around the country. Another question, do you also have a digital copy of the newspaper? Do you have digital copies of the newspaper, or is just physical copies?
Wow, yes, we have an e-paper. And that one comes at, an e-paper is there because now we cannot ignore all that. E-paper has got all that we have in the hard copy. So the e-paper, it's availed to our readers through our digital our digital team that have got a way of availing it. They have got a code that they give, a code, then how much you pay through what means. That's another conversation altogether. But if you want, I can get you through a gentleman called Matthew Shahi, who handles that digital part. But the digital part paper is there. It's called e-paper.
So that means we have to come through you first to be able to get access to the e-paper.
No problem. Yeah, because I'm the one called manager newspaper in education. So come through me, then I'll take you to the right.
Okay, so we share your number with anyone who is in need of digital copies. Got it.
Yes, my number. You can share it anyhow, anywhere, so long as it is used on official matters. I really appreciate.
Okay.
Yes.
You had said that subscribing to NIE means being a friend of you, Frank. How is it? How is it? How is that like?
Yeah, that one makes us. As I told you, you cannot advertise on this paper using 40,000 shillings. That one I can assure you. 40,000 shillings you can't advertise anything on this paper. But now that you have paid 43,200 shillings, you have given me your school to be my friend. I'll now come to your school and take photos of the whatever you want and give you the profile of the school. Tell me when the school was started. Because normally that is how we do it with our partners. Anybody who has enrolled with us, we do the profiling of schools. We take photos of the school, school bus, whatever, and then we have a school profile, the history of the school, the number of staff, the students, and so on. That way is you are advertising already. You tell us about, oh, this year we had this number of students passing KCPE and so on. Oh, this year we had our teacher was one of the best teachers around in this region. Aren't you advertising already? Yes, you are. Then again, another way of being my friend is that I'm only a phone call away when you feel that you have something to share on Daul Elimu. I hope most of us know what Daul Elimu is. It's a show that talks about education matters in this country from early childhood to tertiary, and whatever issue that comes on in the education space, that is what we do in this country in that show. It's a show that has been there for the last 6 years, and it's now really growing. And I'm happy that the ones that have, the schools that have known about it, always call me and tell, oh, Frank, can I send one of my staff to come there and talk about this? For example, when the exams results are out, and most schools really want to come, but because we are not in touch with them, they cannot really reach me. But now, as soon as you are now in my database, you only click, pop, text message, Frank, I want you to come to my school for Daul Elimu recording. Oh, bro, that is the friendship I'm talking about. And then you're also allowed to give editorial opinion editorials, op-eds. You can do that. Give us your issues that you want to publish maybe on our NIE pages regarding maybe the uptake of CBC and so on. You are free to do that on our paper through my office. That's how friendly we are with you. Yes.
In regards to what you have just said, do you go to schools and to interact with the students and teachers or all the stakeholders to get feedback on NIE?
Yes, I do. In fact, I do it a lot. For example, if you watch this coming Sunday on Daul Elimu, you will see I was in a school in Homa Bay County called Orero Mixed Secondary School, where we recorded a show about students and voting. And we were really having a very interactive session with them. We were engaging with them about what they should do during this election. And I noticed that we have got very wonderful students in this country. They talk about, yeah, he or she doesn't want to see a politician telling him or her to take this 100 shillings to go and vote for them. And I said, okay, so these people are well educated about this. So, and then during that interaction, I also get more feedback from the school about the uptake of our NIE, the papers. I also go to the library and see how many copies they have there. Ask them how they appreciate the paper, how has it built their whatever their prowess in learning and so on. So I interact with the schools a lot. Last week I was in Makini School, Kibos. We even recorded another DAO there. So it is that wonderful. That interaction is just mutual.
Okay. Tell us about Dao Elimu. Where is it being aired on, and what is it about?
Yes, Dao Elimu is a Swahili show, education show, and we intentionally put it to be a Swahili show because I noticed that when you make things to be so English in this country, you become so elitist, and people run away. They're shy away from you. So I wanted to capture everybody that is in Karen, Lavington, Kibra, Korokosho, everywhere, so that if you are speaking about education matters in this country, we don't leave anybody out. But that show, despite the fact that it's run in Swahili, I've never shied away from having my guests talk about issues in English. There was even a day I hosted a Nigerian, and you know Nigerians don't speak Swahili, so the Nigerian was talking about they were running a bureau here in Nairobi about how to obtain visa for these colleges that abroad colleges Zangambo. So we interacted with him, and he explained a lot about hizi nini za ugaibuni kule Zangambo, and he could speak in English, but of course me I could also translate to my viewers in Swahili and so on, so that we are all at par. So Daula Elimu is a show that comes every Sunday at 5 p.m. on KTN News. KTN News, yes, and it's run by myself. I'm the host, Frank Otieno.
Okay. Okay. Apart from students benefiting from NIE, how have teachers benefited, or parents?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, our main person that we wanted to look at first is the learner, but because the teacher is the one that is there to facilitate learning, once the teacher has that content, it gives him or her easy time of interacting with the learner, because it's a kind of you know, when you have your lesson plan and you have got your notes, then here is somebody who has just given you notes to go and teach in class. Can you go take these notes and go and teach? You just enjoy reading the notes, then you go and so it makes teachers have the self-esteem and the confidence of approaching the lesson in class and so on, from introduction to maliza na kadhalika. That's how teachers benefit from it. Makes their work easier.
Okay. Last question. What was the vision or is the vision behind NIE?
Yes, you know, media is about revenue. So we had to look for how to interact with the people who can appreciate the newspaper, because you cannot go just to people who are illiterate and tell them, can you read this? They cannot. So we felt that there's a very big bulk of readers here who we are not taking care of, who can come on board. So the vision was to increase sales, even as we now bring them on board to enjoy other services that are given by us as a media house. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Frank, for the informative presentation. I've learned so much about newspaper and education, and I hope all the participants have learned one or two things from your presentation. Thank you again for answering questions and for the great presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I really look forward to having more enrollments from this membership so that we move forward with the education, even as we have CBC coming on board fully. Thank you.
Definitely, to many more collaborations together. And so this concludes the webinar. Thank you all for attending. We hope you have learned and enjoyed this presentation. We appreciate all of you being here. We encourage you to connect with us on social media at Kurasa Africa on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Hashtag Kurasa WAAW, hashtag Kenya Reimagine ED. If you have any additional questions, you can send them to 0700 200 000 or community@kurasa.org. I'm going to send all this information, social media, contacts, phone number, and the email address onto the chat right now. So if you have any questions, please free to get in touch with us. And I hope you learned one or two things from this webinar. Thank you, Frank, and enjoy your stay soon.
Thank you, Khadija.
Have a nice evening, everyone, and we'll see you next time around. Thank you so much for attending our webinar. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for participating. Thank you for asking questions.
Well done, Khadija. That was awesome. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Maryjane.
Thank you so much, Khadija. It was amazing. It was really lovely listening to you and listening to his responses. Great
Thank
webinar.
you. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. I really appreciate everyone who joined this webinar.